Hi, Sherry.
Hi.
Thanks for agreeing to participate in this project.
No problem.
So as we discussed, I'm going to ask you a few questions, and please feel free to answer those any way you like.
Okay.
So first of all, where are we?
We are at the Armsby Abbey. We're at 144 Main Street in downtown Worcester. Pretty central as far as downtown goes, convenient to all the hotels and the event centers, DC Center, Palladium, Hanover.
Great.
Nice little nook we've created down here.
And you've been open for about a year?
Just under a year. We're about 10 months now.
Great.
So coming up on it fast.
Great. So how old are you?
How old am I? Do I have to answer that truthfully?
No.
34.
And do you have a specific political orientation? If you had to put yourself on the scale, where would it be?
I don't put myself on the scale.
Okay. No labels.
Lie.
No labels for you.
No.
Do you have a religion or religious orientation? What's your job title?
Job title here is general manager and owner. So I handle all the operations as far as the staff and anything front of house, back house here pretty much run the show. And then with my husband Alec, he handles the majority of the kitchen responsibility with our head chef Lewis and all the beer inventory. And then I pick up where he moves off on everything else.
The joy of running a restaurant and brew pub, right? So, can you talk about what you see your role in the community as?
I feel my role personally, or here is the Abbey as a whole?
Either or both.
I don't know. I don't look at it as a personal role. I look at it as more of the role of everybody here. I think what we've created here is a big family, and everybody here lives locally. We all try to promote as much local as possible. These are the local establishments that are run by other local business owners, and I feel that what we're doing here is trying to make a difference in the forefront of communities, Worcester and Central Mass, anywhere as a whole, really. I grew up on a small farm. My husband grew up on a small farm. I'm from Rhode Island. He's from Argentina. So for us, it was really taking it back to basics and just making people realize that what's good is simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't take a lot. And with doing that, we're trying to promote that with all the local farms that we work with, whether it's cheese, whether it's produce, and even in the brewery factor, as far as the beer front, we work with a lot of Massachusetts and New England-based breweries as well. Distilleries, if you want to go into the liquor end of things, we work with a lot of local distilleries, whether it be from Vermont or Massachusetts, even Rhode Island. So we don't look at it as just local, just being just Worcester itself. Pretty much more of New England as a whole. The closer we can bring it to home, the better. But I think if we look at it a little bit of a broader perspective, it even opens up people's minds a little bit more to what's driving distance for them, rather than having to get any produce from California or Florida, or even import from Mexico or anywhere else in the country. So.
Great.
I don't know if I answered that right.
No, you did.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, great.
No right answers.
Okay, good.
So, can you talk about your relationship with the local independent community?
Personal relationship?
Either or.
I think Alec and I have pretty much tried to foster a good relationship with a lot of the different establishments in the city, whether it's different restaurants and working with other business owners and restaurant owners. I think the restaurant and bar community here in Worcester is pretty tight. Everybody knows everybody and a little bit about everybody here. So, as big of a city as it is and as big of a scene as I feel this small town has, I think everybody's pretty close in knowing who's doing what and what page everyone is on. And I definitely think with what we're doing as far as local and sustainable and fostering the slow food existence and all that's craft is good, is different from what everyone else is doing, even if some of it might overlap. But I think we're all on the same page with trying to make the community better as a whole.
Great. This one's kind of fun.
Okay.
If your local independent community were an animal, what animal would it be and why?
What animal would Worcester be? Oh my God. That's a tough one. I almost want to go with a rat, and I know that might sound awful, but I feel like Worcester is a community that's surviving, and it's somewhat of a struggle because we're not Boston, and we don't have much of a draw as far as an oceanic view or any kind of scenery or anything. We're stuck in central Massachusetts, where Worcester, for the most part, has been known as a blue-collar community for years. And we're we're trying to make a difference in having people look at it as more of a suburb of Boston and realize that there's a lot here. There's 15 colleges. There is a great restaurant scene and a lot of bars and places to hang out and great museums and event venues. So I feel like that as a rat might sound bad. I don't know, but the rat is a survivor and it does what it has to do to survive. And I feel like the city is surviving and it's growing.
Great answer.
Right or not,
no, that's a great answer. I love it. I love it.
It was the first thing that popped into my mind, so I had to throw it out there.
Always go with the first thing. So, can you talk about one specific local independent business in your community that you and your community would miss the most if it were no longer here?
Oh wow, I have a lot of those actually. That does surprise me a bit. Let's see. I think one of my favorite floral shops is Sprout, and I've been working with her for almost 10 years now, and she's amazing. She does these amazing floral displays with flowers and greenery and all kinds of different things you would never even hear about. I'd really miss her if Kathy left, so she's definitely one of my favorites. Let's see, other establishments that I would miss the most. Counter. I miss their crazy desserts. I do enjoy their desserts. This is definitely more of an Alec question than mine because he's been here for way longer than I've ever been here.
Sure.
I think I would miss Mezcal's Margaritas. Block 5, Mezcal, Leash Hospitality, they've been doing a great job, and they're locally run and locally owned too.
Great.
It's definitely one of the places I go on my days off.
You have days off?
Occasionally.
Great. That's good. That's good. Yeah.
Hard to think. There's so many of them.
So, a little bit about what this project is about. We talked about it. You have an idea of who might see it, and hopefully we're going to grow that following. What one piece of advice from your life as an entrepreneur and also as an organizer of community, because entrepreneurs who start and run successful businesses ultimately, in my opinion, generate community and create community around their business. What one piece of advice would you give to any person or organization that might see this project?
I think the one piece of advice I could give is, it might sound silly, but if you do what you love and you follow with a passion and a soul that you believe in the project, no matter what that project is, do what you love and the money will follow. I've read that someplace before, and I'm 34, went to business school in Rhode Island, graduated with a great degree, and all my fellow cohorts are all working for big major companies around the country, and I took the road less traveled. So a lot of them have been crazy, but here we are, where are we, 12 years after college, and they're all doing well, and somehow I followed my passion and my dream and stuck to it, and now this is exactly what I wanted. Now I have my own place, doing it on my own terms, and making a difference, and it's all about keeping it simple. It really is, and the soul and passion behind it is really what's put us in the forefront of the community, and it's going to keep driving us. There's a lot of soulless businesses out there, and I think that Alec and I have put a lot of heart and soul into this project, and that's really what makes a difference.
Great. Last question. I know you're excited. So, along those lines of who's going to see this project, what one message would you like to share with anyone who might see it?
Well, one message to people that are going to see this.
Take your time. I have a delicious Allagash beer here. I'm not in a rush.
I guess just stop and think what they're doing on a daily basis. If you're going to live local and live well, it's really not that difficult. You just have to really stop and think about it. What you might be drinking for coffee in the morning, can you get that locally rather than at a commercial chain, or where you're eating at for lunch instead of eating at a chain. What other local establishments are going to be giving you money to? It's not that difficult. And at the end of the day, I think everybody would feel better about it if they could actually know where their food came from or feel better about